So hey anime fans. The series name is What If Naruto Got Harem with My Little Pony Tale. So let's start the series. The war had been over for 3 days. That's what everyone kept saying. Like saying it enough times would make it feel real. The war is over. We won. Go home. I sat on a rock at the edge of the valley where we fought Madara and Kagaya. The ground was still torn up. Huge cracks in the earth. Trees burned to ash. I couldn't stop looking at my hands. They were clean now. I'd washed them in a river that morning. But I kept seeing them covered in something else. Kurama was quiet. Had been quiet since we got back. You should sleep, he said finally. Not a growl. Just tired. I know. You haven't slept in 3 days. I know. I pulled my knees up, resting my chin on them. The sun was going down and the sky was orange and purple and it should have felt peaceful but it didn't. Sasuke had left that morning. Said he had things to do. Sakura had stood at the gate for an hour after he disappeared. Then she went back to the hospital and started working. She hadn't stopped either. Kakashi was already acting like Hokage. Signing papers. Meeting with the other Kage. Moving forward. Everyone was moving forward. I didn't know how. You're thinking too much. Yeah, well. I rubbed my face. You're stuck in here. You have to think with me. Unfortunately. But there was no bite in it. Kurama sounded as tired as I was. Something had changed between us during the war. Not just the fighting together part. Something deeper. When we pulled that chakra from all the other tailed beasts, when we become something new together, I still didn't have words for it. Like we'd stopped being two things in one body. Like we were just one. Don't get sentimental, Kurama muttered. It's disgusting. I laughed. It came out rough and dry. Too late. I sat there until the stars came out. Then I sat some more. The chakra built up slow. That's what I noticed first. A pressure behind my ribs. Like before a storm. I'd felt it a few times during the war, when Kurama was pushing power into me, when we were sinking. But we weren't fighting. I feel it too. Kurama's voice was different. Alert. Something's wrong. I stood up. The valley was empty. Dark. Wind moving through the broken trees. Enemy? No. Not that kind of wrong. It's... The pressure spiked. I grabbed my chest. It felt like my heart was trying to beat its way out. Kurama's chakra was rising without either of us willing it. Orange-red light started leaking from my skin. Stop it, Kurama snarled. Pull it back. I'm trying. I couldn't. The chakra kept coming. Not angry. Not violent. Just responding to something. Like it had found a door and wanted to go through. The ground under my feet started to glow. Not normal light. Soft. Pastel colors swirling together, pink and purple and blue and green. They spiraled up around my legs, my waist, my chest. What is this? Then the world flipped. Not flipped like upside down. Flipped like it folded. Like someone took a piece of paper and creased it right where I was standing. I felt my body stretch. Compress. Stretch again. I heard Kurama roaring, but the sound was far away. Then nothing. I woke up face down in grass. Grass that smelled wrong. Sweeter than normal grass. Like flowers I didn't recognize. My whole body hurt. Not injured hurt, exhaustion hurt. Like I'd run 100 miles without stopping. My arms wouldn't move at first. I just lay there, cheek pressed to the ground, breathing. Kurama? Silence. Kurama. Nothing. I forced my eyes open. Forced my arms to push. Rolled onto my back. The sky was wrong. Wrong color. Too purple. Like sunset, but it was coming from everywhere, not just one direction. And there were 2 moons. 2. I sat up fast. My head spun. I pressed a hand to my temple and waited for it to pass. Trees. I was in a forest. But the trees they had faces. Not real faces. Patterns in the bark that looked like faces. Like someone had carved them but old. Natural. Kurama. Not a question now. A demand? Nothing. I put a hand on my stomach. Over the seal. I couldn't feel it. Not the usual weight of Kurama's presence. Not the warmth. I was alone. For the first time since I was a kid, since before I even understood what the seal meant, I was completely alone in my own head. I couldn't breathe. I stood up too fast. Fell back down. Stood up again slower. Leaned against a tree with a face in its bark. Kurama, I said out loud. My voice cracked. Come on. This isn't funny. Nothing. The forest was quiet. Too quiet. No birds. No insects. Just wind. I started walking. I didn't know where. Just away from where I'd landed. Every few steps I'd stop and press my hand to my stomach and try to feel something. Anything. Nothing. The seal was still there. I could feel that much if I concentrated. But it was like a door with nothing behind it. I walked until the trees thinned out. Until I could see open land ahead. Hills. A river in the distance. And buildings. Small ones. Colorful roofs. Smoke rising from chimneys. A town. I started toward it. The first pony I saw was pink. I stopped walking. The pink thing was bouncing. Actually bouncing. Not running, bouncing like a ball, except it was shaped like a horse. A small horse. With big blue eyes and a poofy mane. It bounced right past me without stopping. Then it stopped. Bounced backward. Stared at me. Oh, the pink horse said. Oh wow. Oh. Oh. I stared back. You're not a pony, the pink horse said. You're a, what are you? Are you a baby Sasquatch? Did you lose your fur? Are you cold? Do you need a sweater? I can get you a sweater. I know where they keep the sweaters. I started. A monkey. Are you a monkey? But you're so big. Did you eat a lot of bananas? I love bananas. Do you love bananas? Wait. Pinkie Pie. Another voice. Sharper. A purple horse was running toward them. This one had a horn. And wings. Both? Was that Twilight? The pink one, Pinkie Pie, yelled. Look! A baby Sasquatch! Or a monkey! A big monkey! The purple one skidded to a stop. Stared at me. I stared back. The purple one's eyes went wide. Then narrower. Studying me. Where did you come from? She asked. Not accusing. Just intensely curious. I opened my mouth. Closed it. I didn't know how to explain any of this. I don't know, I said. The purple one flinched. You can talk. Yeah, I can talk. You're not from around here. No, I'm not. More ponies were coming. A blue one flying, actually flying, with wings. An orange one in a cowboy hat. A yellow one hiding behind the others. A white one with fancy curled hair. They gathered around me, staring. The blue one landed hard. Walked right up to me. She was shorter than me by a lot, but she didn't seem to care. Who are you? She demanded. What are you doing here? How'd you get past the border? I don't know, I said again. I don't know where here is. Equestria, the purple one said quietly. You're in Equestria. I shook my head. I'd never heard of it. I stopped. My throat was tight. I need to find someone. Something. I lost something. The orange one stepped forward. Her eyes were careful. Not trusting. What did you lose? I looked at her. At all of them. These tiny colorful horses with their big eyes and their wings and horns in. I couldn't explain it. How could I explain Kurama? A nine-tailed fox made of chakra sealed inside my stomach? They'd think I was crazy. My friend, I said finally. I lost my friend. The yellow one peeked out from behind the others. Her voice was barely a whisper. The friend you were talking to? When you were walking toward town? I went still. You heard me? She nodded. Shrank back a little. I heard two voices. One was yours. The other was. She trailed off. Shook her head. It was very quiet. And very big. I felt my knees go weak. You can hear him? Can you still hear him? The yellow one, Fluttershy, I'd learn later, shook her head again. No. He's gone now. I'm sorry. I sat down in the grass. Right there. In front of all of them. I couldn't stand anymore. The ponies looked at each other. The purple one, Twilight, moved closer. Maybe, she said carefully, you should come with us. We can try to figure out what happened. I looked up at her. You'd help me? We're ponies, the orange one said. Like that explained everything. Course we'd help. They didn't know me. Didn't know what I was. What was inside me. Or what used to be. But they were offering help anyway. I nodded. Stood up slowly. Okay. They took me to a library. Not a big one. Just a tree with rooms inside and books everywhere. Twilight's library, they called it. She was the one who lived there. I sat on a cushion, the only thing big enough for me, and drank something called chamomile tea. It tasted like flowers. I drank it anyway because my hands were shaking and holding something helped. The ponies were all around me, looking at me, trying not to stare and failing. So, Twilight said. She had a quill and parchment floating next to her. Magic. Real magic. Start from the beginning. Where are you from? The Land of Fire, I said. Konoha. It's a village. I've never heard of it. Me neither. Of this place. Twilight wrote something down. And how did you get here? I thought about it. Tried to remember. The pressure. The light. The folding. Something pulled me. Or pushed me. I don't know. There was this light, and then I was here. Was it a spell? Did someone cast something on you? No. I don't think so. It was. I hesitated. It was chakra. My chakra. It reacted to something. The ponies exchanged looks. What's chakra? The blue one, Rainbow Dash, asked. I blinked. It's energy. Inside everyone. You use it for techniques. For fighting. Fighting? The orange one, Applejack, frowned. Why would you need energy for fighting? Because there's always a war. Because someone always wants to destroy your village. Because you have a monster inside you that everyone hates. I didn't say any of that. It's complicated, I said. Twilight was watching me carefully. I could feel her eyes on me. Like she was trying to figure out a puzzle. Can you show us? She asked. This chakra? I hesitated. Then I held out my hand. Focused. A small ball of blue energy appeared above my palm. The ponies gasped. All of them. Even the quiet yellow one. It's beautiful. The white one, Rarity, whispered. Twilight leaned closer. Her eyes were huge. That's not magic. That's completely different from magic. The structure, the way it's shaped. Something flickered. I felt it before I saw it. A warmth in my chest. A presence. Boy. I dropped the chakra ball. It dissipated. Kurama? I'm here. I may pause. Something's wrong. I can't, this place is. The warmth flickered again. Faded. Don't go. Can't hold on. The magic here, it reacts to me. Pushes against me. I have to. Kurama. Silence. I sat there, hands still outstretched, staring at nothing. Hey! Rainbow Dash was in front of me. Waving a hoof. You okay? You spaced out there for a second. I lowered my hand. My friend, I said quietly. He's still here. But he's weak. This place is hurting him. Twilight's quill had stopped moving. Your friend. The one Fluttershy heard. He's inside you? I nodded. The room got very quiet. Is he? Twilight struggled for words. Is he a ghost? A spirit? He's a fox. I looked at my hands. A really big fox. With 9 tails. He was sealed inside me when I was a baby. To protect the village. To protect everyone from him. More silence. Applejack spoke first. Let me get this straight. You got a fox the size of, how big is he? Bigger than this town. Bigger than this town. Applejack repeated slowly. Sealed inside your body. And he's your friend. Yeah. And you came here because some kind of magic pulled you. I think so. Applejack looked at Twilight. Twilight looked at the others. Well, Applejack said finally, that's a new one. The sun was setting. Real sunset this time. Orange and pink and gold. I stood outside the library, watching it. I'd never seen a sunset like this. The colors were too bright. Too perfect. Twilight came out to stand next to me. The princess wants to see you, she said. Princess? Princess Celestia. She rules Equestria. I sent her a letter about what happened. She says you should come to Canterlot tomorrow. I nodded. Will she know how to send me back? Twilight hesitated. I don't know. Maybe. She knows a lot about ancient magic. If anyone can figure this out, it's her. I looked at the sunset again. Your friend, Twilight said carefully. The fox. Is he dangerous? Yes. The word came out before I could stop it. Twilight took a small step back. But not anymore, I added. He used to be. He hated everyone. Wanted to destroy everything. But he changed. We changed each other. How? I thought about it. Years of fighting. Years of hating each other. Then the war. Then. I stopped trying to push him away, I said. And he stopped trying to push me away. We just started trusting each other. Twilight was quiet for a long moment. That sounds like friendship, she said. I looked at her. Yeah, I said. I guess it is. The first stars were coming out. 2 moons hanging in the sky. I put my hand on my stomach. I could barely feel Kurama there. Just a whisper. A warmth that kept flickering. Hold on, I thought. I'll figure this out. Just hold on. No answer. But the warmth flickered again. Like a heartbeat. Like an answer. Canterlot was built on a mountain. I stood at the bottom of the path leading up and just stared for a minute. White towers. Spires. Banners flying. It looked like something out of a storybook. The kind of place princesses lived in fairy tales. Which, apparently, it was. Twilight was next to me. She'd flown in early that morning to get me. The others had wanted to come, but Twilight said it was better if just the 2 of us went. Less overwhelming for everyone. You ready? She asked. No. Twilight nodded like that made sense. Let's go anyway. We walked up the path. My legs were longer than hers, but she kept up fine. Her wings twitched sometimes like she wanted to fly, but she didn't. Guards at the gate. More ponies with armor and spears. They looked at me but didn't stop me. Twilight must have sent word ahead. The inside of the castle was huge. Marble floors. High ceilings. Paintings everywhere. My footsteps echoed. Fancy, Kurama whispered. I stopped walking. Kurama? Still here. Still weak. But awake. I was so worried. Don't. Save your energy. This place, the magic here, it's not like chakra. It pushes against me. Like it's testing me. Twilight had stopped too. Looking back at me. Everything okay? I started walking again. He's awake. My friend. He says the magic here is testing him. Twilight's eyes widened. He can talk to you? Right now? Quietly. He's weak. A door opened ahead of us. A white pony stepped out. Taller than the others. With wings and a horn like Twilight. Her mane flowed like it was underwater even though there was no wind. Princess Celestia. Her eyes found me immediately. Held me. Twilight, she said. Her voice was warm but careful. Thank you for bringing him. Of course, Princess. Celestia looked at me. I looked back. I'd met powerful people before. The Hokage. The other Kage. The Sage of 6 Paths himself. I knew what power felt like. Celestia had it too. Different kind. But real. Come, she said. We have much to discuss. We sat in a room with windows overlooking the whole kingdom. Mountains and forests and rivers stretching out forever. I sat on a specially made cushion. Big enough for me. They'd thought of that. Celestia was across from me. Twilight next to her. A few guards by the door. I've been studying the magical disturbance from 3 days ago, Celestia said. When you arrived, it was significant. Sorry. She almost smiled. It's not your fault. These things happen. The question is why. I waited. Equestria has barriers, Celestia continued. Old magic. Designed to keep things out. Or in. Depending on your perspective. They've been in place for thousands of years. Nothing from outside has crossed them since before I was born. But I did. Yes. You did. She leaned forward slightly. Which means either the barriers failed, which they didn't, or something about you bypassed them entirely. The fox, Kurama said. It's me. I relate it. Celestia's expression didn't change, but something shifted in her eyes. Your friend. The one inside you. May I ask what he is? A tailed beast. A fox. Made of chakra. Chakra. She tested the word. That's the energy you use? Yes. Celestia was quiet for a moment. May I try something? A small spell. Just to sense what's inside you. I tensed. Every instinct said no. Don't let strangers poke around inside you. That's how you get controlled. How you get sealed again. Let her, Kurama said. Are you sure? I want to know why this place hurts me. She might have answers. I nodded. Celestia's horn glowed. Soft gold light. It drifted toward me. Settled over my chest. I felt it. A gentle warmth. Exploring. Not invasive. Just curious. Then Celestia's eyes went wide. For just a second, a fraction of a second, her composure broke. I saw fear there. Real fear. Then it was gone. She pulled the magic back. Sat very still. Princess? Twilight leaned forward. What is it? Celestia looked at me. Really looked at me. I felt him, she said quietly. The fox. He's ancient. Powerful. And his magic, his chakra, it's unlike anything in Equestria. It's not good or evil. It just is. Like a force of nature. She paused. But there's something else. Something underneath. A darkness. Old wounds. Centuries of hate. I looked down. He wasn't always my friend, I said. For a long time, he hated everyone. Wanted to destroy everything. I hated him too. We were stuck together, and we both wanted out. What changed? I stopped treating him like a monster. Celestia was quiet. She's afraid of me, Kurama said. But she's trying not to show it. I know. You're worried, I said to Celestia. About what he could do if he got loose here. Celestia didn't deny it. Equestria is peaceful, she said. We haven't had a real war in centuries. The kind of power your friend carries, it could destroy that peace. Even accidentally. He won't. You can't guarantee that. No, I admitted. I can't. But I can promise you I'll do everything to stop him if he tries. And he won't try. He's not that fox anymore. Celestia looked at me for a long moment. I want to believe you, she said finally. But trust isn't built in a day. Or a conversation. I know. Then you'll understand why I need to keep you in Ponyville for now. Under observation. Twilight will be your guide. Your keeper, if you want to be blunt about it. Twilight looked surprised but didn't argue. I nodded. Okay. Okay? Celestia raised an eyebrow. You're not going to argue? Demand to be sent home immediately? What good would that do? You don't know how to send me home yet. And even if you did, I'm not leaving without Kurama at full strength. He can't travel like this. I met her eyes. I'll stay. I'll answer your questions. I'll let Twilight watch me. But I need your help. I need to figure out why this place hurts him. And I need to find a way to fix it. Celestia was quiet for a long time. Then she nodded. Fair enough. The walk back to Ponyville was quiet. Twilight kept glancing at me, like she wanted to say something but didn't know how. Finally. That was not how I expected that to go. What did you expect? I don't know. Arguing? Yelling? Princess Celestia can be intimidating. I shrugged. I've met intimidating people before. She's not the scariest. Who is? I thought about it. Madara. Kaguya. The look on Sasuke's face when he decided to destroy everything. Myself, I said. I'm the scariest person I know. Twilight didn't ask what I meant. I was glad. We walked in silence for a while. Past farms and fields. Small houses with smoke rising. Ponies going about their day. They stared at me but didn't approach. Word must have spread. Can I ask you something? Twilight said. Sure. Your friend. The fox. What's his name? I almost smiled. Kurama. Kurama, she repeated. That's a nice name. She's strange, Kurama muttered. But not unpleasant. I did smile then. He says thank you? Twilight's ears perked up. He can hear me? Always. He hears everything. That's... She trailed off. That's a lot. Never being alone. I thought about it. Years of isolation. Everyone afraid of me. The only voice in my head belonging to a creature that wanted me dead. It wasn't always good, I said. For a long time, it was the worst part. But now, I shrugged. Now I can't imagine being alone. Twilight was quiet. I think I understand, she said finally. A little bit. I have friends now, but I spent a long time just studying. Alone in libraries. Thinking that was enough. Was it? No. She looked at the road ahead. It wasn't. We walked the rest of the way without talking. But it wasn't uncomfortable. Ponyville at night was quiet. I sat on the roof of the library. Twilight had offered me a bed inside, but I couldn't sleep. Too much on my mind. The stars were different here. Constellations I didn't recognize. 2 moons. A sky that seemed closer somehow. You should rest, Kurama said. So should you. I'm resting. I'm always resting now. Can't do much else. I felt the weight in those words. Kurama hated being weak. Hated being helpless. It went against everything he was. We'll figure it out. Will we? Kurama's voice was bitter. This place, it's magic, it's not just different. It's opposite. Like it was designed to suppress things like me. What do you mean? I don't know. I can't explain it. But it feels intentional. Like someone built walls specifically to keep out chakra. I frowned. You think someone here knows about chakra? I think someone here knows about something like chakra. And they didn't want it getting in. The thoughts sat heavy. Below, a door opened. Light spilled out. A small purple shape moved into the street. Twilight. She looked up at the roof. Saw me. Can't sleep either? No. She fluttered up. Landed next to me. Sat down. Beautiful, isn't it? I looked at the sky. Yeah. Different. But beautiful. We sat in silence for a while. Can I ask you something else? Twilight said. You keep asking if you can ask. Just ask. She smiled a little. Your world. What's it like? I thought about it. The Leaf Village. The Hokage Monument. Ichiraku Ramen. The training grounds. The memorial stone. It's complicated, I said. There's a lot of fighting. A lot of death. We just finished a war that almost destroyed everything. Oh. Twilight's voice was small. But there's good stuff too. My friends. My teacher. The old man who used to buy me ramen when I was a kid. The way the village looks at sunrise. That sounds nice. It is. When you're not fighting. Twilight was quiet. I can't imagine living like that, she said finally. Always fighting. Always afraid. Most people in my world don't know any different. It's just how it is. That's sad. I looked at her. At this small purple pony who'd never known war. Who lived in a world where the biggest problem was usually some kind of magical mishap, or a disagreement between friends. Yeah, I said. It is. She doesn't understand, Kurama said. She can't. I know. But she's trying. I know that too. Twilight shifted. Looked at me. I want to help. Really help. Not just because the princess asked me to. Because. She struggled for words. Because you seem like you need a friend right now. And I'm good at that. Being a friend. I felt something in my chest loosen. Thanks, I said. That means a lot. We sat on the roof until the sun started coming up. Pink and gold spreading across the sky. Two worlds. Two different kinds of people. But the sunrise looked the same. The next few days settled into a pattern. I woke up early. Helped around town. I was strong, could lift things ponies couldn't. Applejack put me to work in the orchards. I didn't mind. Physical labor kept my mind off things. Twilight studied. Books piled up around her. Spells to detect dimensional magic. Ancient texts about the barriers. Anything that might explain how I got here and how to send me back. The other ponies visited. Pinkie Pie threw a "Welcome, strange tall hairless monkey pony person" party. I didn't understand most of it, but the cake was good. Rainbow Dash challenged me to races. She won every time, but I got faster. Rarity offered to make me clothes that fit better. I accepted. Fluttershy brought animals to meet me. Most were scared. A few weren't. And slowly, bit by bit, Kurama got stronger. It was small at first. A few minutes of wakefulness instead of seconds. The ability to form full sentences instead of fragments. By the 5th day, he could sustain conversation for almost an hour before fading. The magic here is adapting to me, he said one afternoon. I was sitting by the river, feet in the water. Or I'm adapting to it. Either way, it's getting easier. That's good. It's something. But we still don't know why it happened in the first place. I watched the water flow past. Twilight's working on it. I know. She's diligent. I'll give her that. We sat in comfortable silence. Naruto. Yeah? If we can't go back. We'll go back. If we can't, Kurama pressed, what then? I thought about it. Konoha. Sakura and Sasuke and Kakashi. Hinata's face when she smiled. Irika. The ramen guy. All of it. Then we make a life here, I said. And we figure out how to be okay with it. Kurama was quiet. You've changed, he said finally. So have you. Yes. I suppose I have. A butterfly landed on my knee. Orange and black. It sat there for a moment, wings opening and closing, then flew away. I watched it go. We'll figure it out, I said. Together. Together, Kurama agreed. And for the first time since arriving in the strange world of talking ponies and 2 moons, I felt like maybe things would be okay. 2 weeks. I'd been in Equestria for 2 weeks, and I still woke up every morning expecting to see the Hokage monument outside my window. Instead, I saw a tree. The library tree. With birds singing and sunlight filtering through leaves. I'd gotten used to it. Almost. Today was different, though. Today Twilight had called a meeting. All 6 of them, the ones who'd found me that first day. Plus Spike, the little dragon who lived with Twilight. I sat on my cushion in the library. The others were scattered around, on chairs, on the floor, on pillows. Pinkie Pie kept bouncing slightly even while sitting. Okay, Twilight said. She had papers floating around her. I've been researching for 2 weeks and I've found something. She paused. It's not much, but it's something. What did you find? Applejack asked. Twilight floated a book over. Old. Leather binding. Pages yellowed. This is a history of the Everfree Forest. Not the forest itself, the magic that created it. According to this, the Everfree is the only place in Equestria where magic doesn't follow the normal rules. Weather happens on its own. Animals live without pony care. Plants grow wild. I didn't see where this was going. And the Everfree wasn't always like that. It changed. About 1,000 years ago. Around the same time Princess Luna became. She stopped. Looked at the others. Became what? I asked. The ponies exchanged glances. Nightmare Moon, Rainbow Dash said. Luna got jealous of Celestia. Turned into this dark version of herself. Tried to cover Equestria in eternal night. I waited. They stopped her. Used the elements of harmony. But when she came back, recently, the Everfree started acting up again. Twilight nodded. The point is, she said, the Everfree is connected to ancient magic. Powerful magic. And according to this book, that magic, the wild magic, has a reaction to certain kinds of beings. She looked at me. I think it reacted to Kurama. She might be right, Kurama said. The forest near where I woke up, it felt wrong. Like it was watching me. You think the forest pulled me here? I asked. No. I think the forest noticed you. And that notice might help us figure out how to send you back. I leaned forward. How? We go into the Everfree. To the old castle. The castle of the two sisters. It's where the elements were kept. Where Luna was defeated the first time. If there's any place that might have answers, it's there. The room was quiet. Hold on, Rainbow Dash said. You want to take him into the Everfree? The place with manticores and cockatrices and who knows what else? He's a trained fighter from a world of ninjas, Twilight said. I think he can handle it. I'm not worried about him. I'm worried about us. I spoke up. I can protect you. All of you. If something attacks, I'll handle it. Rainbow Dash looked at me, sizing me up. You're not even armed. I don't need weapons. She opened her mouth to argue. Closed it. Fine, she said. But if something eats me, I'm blaming you. Fair enough. The Everfree forest was wrong. I felt it the moment we stepped inside. The air was thicker. The sounds were off, animals moving where they shouldn't be, plants rustling without wind. The ponies felt it too. They stayed close together. Fluttershy was shaking. You okay? I asked her quietly. She nodded. Swallowed. It's just scary. The animals here aren't like regular animals. They're wild. I know wild animals. I'll keep them away from you. She gave me a tiny smile. Thank you. We walked deeper. The trees got thicker. The light got dimmer. Twilight led the way, a glow on her horn to light the path. Something's watching us, Kurama said. I know. Not just one thing. Many things. My hand twitched. I wanted to make a shadow clone. Send it ahead to scout. But I didn't know how my chakra would affect this place. Didn't want to make things worse. A roar echoed through the trees. The ponies froze. What was that? Pinkie Pie whispered. For once, she wasn't bouncing. I stepped forward. Stay behind me. Another roar. Closer. The trees ahead shook. Something big was coming through them. Then it broke through. A lion. But not a lion. Scorpion tail. Bat wings. Teeth the size of my fingers. Manticore. It saw us. Roared again. Charged. I moved. Fast. Faster than the ponies could follow. I was in front of the manticore in a second, hand reaching out. And stopping. The manticore had stopped too. It was looking at me. Not with hunger. With something else. Recognition? It senses me, Kurama said. It knows what I am. The manticore's eyes narrowed. It growled low in its throat. Then it turned and walked away. I stood there, hands still outstretched, watching it disappear into the trees. Behind me, someone let out a breath. What? Rainbow Dash said slowly. Was that? I lowered my hand. I don't know. We found the castle at sunset. It was ruins. Mostly. Old stone walls covered in vines. Broken towers. A courtyard with weeds growing through cracks. But there was something else. A presence. Old magic hanging in the air like smoke after a fire. This place, Kurama said. This is where it happened. Where the magic changed. You can feel it? Yes. It's like a scar. Something wounded here, a long time ago, and the wound never fully healed. I told the ponies. Twilight nodded slowly. That makes sense. This is where we defeated Nightmare Moon. Where Luna was separated from the darkness inside her. The darkness didn't die, I said. It just went somewhere else. Maybe. Twilight looked at the castle. Maybe that's what the Everfree is. The darkness left behind, festering. We entered the castle. The inside was dark, damp, roots breaking through walls. But there were still remnants of beauty, faded tapestries, broken statues, a throne covered in moss. Twilight led us to a room at the top of a tower. The elements were gone, I knew that. They were with the ponies now, in some form. But the room where they'd been kept still hummed with power. In the center of the floor, there was a circle, carved into the stone, filled with symbols I didn't recognize. Chakra, Kurama said suddenly. What? The circle. Some of these symbols, they're not magic. They're chakra seals. Old ones? Very old. My blood ran cold. Twilight. What is this? She came closer, studied the circle. I don't know. I've never seen these symbols before. They're from my world. Everyone went quiet. Your world? Twilight looked at me. How could symbols from your world be here? In a castle that's thousands of years old? I didn't have an answer. Someone came here, Kurama said slowly. Someone from our world. A long time ago. And they left something. Left what? I don't know. But it's still here. I can feel it. I stepped into the circle. The world flipped. Not like before, not the folding, the traveling. Just a shift. A tilt. For a second, I saw something else. A figure. Human. Standing in the circle, long ago, drawing these symbols with bleeding fingers. Then it was gone. Naruto! Twilight was at the edge of the circle. What happened? You stopped moving. For like 10 seconds. I looked at my hands. There was someone here, I said. A long time ago. Someone from my world. They made this circle. How do you know? I saw them. Just now. For a second. The ponies exchanged looks. You saw them too? Kurama asked. Yeah. Did you? No. But I felt them. Their chakra. It was old. Tired. Dying. I looked at the circle again. They came here, I said quietly. They came here and they couldn't get back. So they made this. Hoping someone would find it. Hoping someone would understand. Twilight's voice was soft. What happened to them? I looked at the symbols. The seals. Work done by someone desperate. Someone alone. I don't know. But I don't think they made it home. We camped in the castle that night. No one wanted to travel through the Everfree in darkness. Even with me there. I sat by a small fire we built in one of the less ruined rooms. The ponies were asleep around me, except Twilight, who was still studying her notes by the firelight. You should sleep, I said. So should you. I don't sleep much. She looked at me. In the firelight, her eyes were very purple. Is that from your world? The not sleeping? I shrugged. Partially. When you grow up not knowing if you'll be attacked in the night, you learn to stay alert. That's terrible. It's just how it was. Twilight was quiet for a moment. Can I ask you something personal? You keep asking that too. She smiled a little. Then the smile faded. Your friend. Kurama. Before you were friends, when he hated you, what was that like? I stared into the fire. Lonely, I said finally. I was lonely anyway. Everyone in the village hated me or was afraid of me. And the only person I was never alone with wanted me dead. I paused. Sometimes I'd talk to him anyway. Just to hear another voice. Even if that voice was telling me I was worthless. Twilight's face was hard to read. How did you survive that? I don't know. I just did. Kept going. Kept hoping things would change. And they did. Yeah. I almost smiled. They did. Sentimental, Kurama muttered. But there was no bite. Shut up. Twilight put her book down. I think that's really brave. Not giving up. Even when it seems impossible. It's not brave. It's just. I struggled for words. It's the only thing I know how to do. Keep going. Maybe that's what bravery is. I looked at her. This small purple pony who'd never known war, never known real fear, sitting in a ruined castle in a dangerous forest, trying to help someone she barely knew. Maybe, I said. Morning came gray and cold. I woke the others. We ate a quick breakfast, apples and bread that Applejack had brought, and packed up. Before we left the castle, I went back to the circle one more time. I stood in the center, closed my eyes, reached out with my chakra, carefully, slowly. What are you doing? Kurama asked. Trying to understand. The person who made this, they left something behind. I want to know what. I pushed my chakra into the circle. For a moment, nothing. Then images. A woman. Human. Dark hair, pale skin, tired eyes. Sitting in this very room, alone, bleeding from cuts on her hands. Drawing symbols with her own blood because she had nothing else. Talking to herself. Or maybe to someone inside her. Like me. I'm sorry, she whispered. I tried so hard. But I can't get back. The barriers, they won't let me through. And I'm so tired. A pause. I know you're scared too. But I can't, I don't have the strength anymore. Another pause. Maybe someone will find this. Someday. Someone like us. Someone who understands. If they do. She struggled for words. If they do, tell them it's okay to stop fighting. Just for a moment. It's okay to rest. The image faded. I opened my eyes. Naruto? Kurama's voice was worried. What did you see? I told him. Kurama was quiet for a long time. She was a Jinchuriki, he said finally. Like you? Like me? She had a beast inside her. And she died here. Alone. Yeah. That could have been you. If things had gone differently. I looked at the circle. At the symbols drawn in blood 1,000 years ago. But they didn't. I said. I have friends here. I have you. I'm not alone. I stepped out of the circle. Let's go home. The days after the Everfree were strange. I couldn't stop thinking about the woman in the castle. Her tired eyes. Her bloody hands. The way she'd said, it's okay to rest. Like she was trying to convince herself as much as anyone else. I dreamed about her sometimes. Not nightmares exactly. Just images. Her sitting alone. Her talking to someone who didn't answer. Her fading. Your dwelling, Kurama said one morning. I know. It won't help. I know that too. But I couldn't stop. Twilight noticed. Of course she did. She noticed everything. You're quieter than usual, she said. They were at the library. She was reading, I was staring out the window. Just thinking. About the woman? The one from the castle? I didn't answer. Twilight put her book down. Can I tell you something? Something I've learned from studying friendship? I looked at her. Sometimes the best way to honor someone who's suffered alone is to not be alone yourself. I thought about it. That's actually pretty smart. She smiled a little. I have my moments. A knock at the door. Spike went to answer it. It was Fluttershy. She looked nervous, more than usual. Naruto? Can I talk to you? Alone? I blinked. Sure. We went outside. Sat on the steps. Fluttershy was quiet for a long moment. I heard about what you saw in the castle, she said finally. The woman. The one who was alone. I waited. I just wanted to say, I understand. A little bit. Being alone. Being afraid. Not knowing if anyone will ever see you as anything but scary or strange. She looked at her hooves. I used to be really shy. Still am, I guess. But I had animals. They were my friends when no one else was. They didn't care that I was quiet. They didn't think I was weird. I looked at her. This tiny yellow pony who could barely speak above a whisper. Kurama was like that for me, I said. Before we were friends, I mean. He was there. Even when he hated me, he was there. I wasn't completely alone. Fluttershy nodded. The woman in the castle. She didn't have that. Her beast, whatever it was, it sounds like they never became friends. No. I don't think they did. That's really sad. Yeah, it is. We sat in silence for a while. If you ever want to talk, Fluttershy said quietly, about anything, I'm a good listener. I looked at her. Thanks, Fluttershy. That means a lot. She smiled. A real smile. Small but warm. Then she got up and went back inside. I sat on the steps for a long time after she left. She's kind, Kurama said. Yeah. Genuinely kind. Not because she expects anything from it. Just because that's who she is. I know. There are people like that in your world too. Hinata. Irika. They're kind the same way. I thought about Hinata. Her quiet courage. The way she always believed in me even when I didn't believe in myself. I miss her. I know. I miss all of them. I know, Naruto. I put my head in my hands. I don't know if I can do this. Stay here. Build a new life. While they're all back there thinking I'm dead. You won't know until you try. That's not helpful. It's the truth. It's all I have. I sat there until the sun went down. The next week brought visitors. Princess Celestia came to Ponyville. Not officially, just to check on me, she said. But I could tell there was more to it. We walked through the town together. Ponies bowed as she passed. She nodded to each one. You're settling in, she said. It wasn't a question. I'm trying. Twilight tells me you've been helping. Manual labor. Heavy lifting. It keeps me busy. Celestia nodded. There's something I want to show you, she said. If you're willing. We walked to the edge of town, to a small hill overlooking the valley. From here, I could see everything. The farms. The forest. The mountains in the distance. This is what I protect, Celestia said quietly. Every day. For over 1,000 years. This peace. These ponies going about their lives, not knowing war, not knowing fear. I looked at the view. It's beautiful. It is. But it's also fragile. She turned to me. I've been alive a long time. I've seen darkness. I've seen what happens when power falls into the wrong hands. When fear wins. I waited. When I first felt Kurama's presence, I was afraid. Not of you, of him. Of what he represents. Power without restraint. Hate without end. She paused. But I've watched you. These past weeks. How you help without being asked. How you protect without expecting thanks. How you carry the weight of someone else inside you and still find reasons to smile. I didn't know what to say. I think, Celestia said slowly, that maybe the elements brought you here for a reason. Not just because of the woman in the castle. Not just because of the seals. But because we have something to learn from you. And you have something to learn from us. I just want to go home. I know. Her voice was gentle. And we'll keep trying to find a way. But until then, don't waste the time you have here. Don't close yourself off. Let them in. All of them. She nodded toward the town. Toward the ponies going about their day. They want to help you. Let them. I looked at the town. At the small colorful figures moving through the streets. I'll try. That's all anyone can do. That night, Pinkie Pie threw another party. Not for anything, she announced. Just because. Because it's Tuesday. And Tuesdays are for parties. I went. I didn't really have a choice. She dragged me there by the arm. The party was in Sugarcube Corner. Pinkie's place. It was chaos. Streamers. Balloons. Music. Cake everywhere. I stood in a corner, watching. Rainbow Dash was arm wrestling with some pony. Winning. Applejack was talking to an older pony about apples. Rarity was showing off a new dress she'd made. Fluttershy was sitting with a group of animals, actual animals, brought to the party, eating from tiny plates. And Twilight was talking to Pinkie Pie, probably trying to figure out how she'd organized all this in one afternoon. They're happy, Kurama said. Yeah. Genuinely happy. Not pretending. Not hiding anything. I know. Can you imagine living like that? Every day? Just being happy? I thought about it. My world was full of shadows. Trauma passed down through generations. Wars fought for reasons no one remembered. Children turned into weapons. Could I imagine living like this? No, I said quietly. I can't. But watching them, watching the way they laughed, the way they moved, the way they existed without fear, I wanted to. Pinky appeared in front of me. Why are you standing in the corner? Corners are for cakes. And coats. And other things that start with C. Not people. I'm just watching. Watching is boring. Come dance. She grabbed my hand and pulled me into the center of the room. The music was loud. The lights were bright. Ponies were bouncing everywhere. I stood there, not moving. Then Pinky started bouncing around me, singing something about smiling and laughing in parties. And for just a second, a fraction of a second, I felt it. Happiness. Real, uncomplicated, simple happiness. I didn't dance, but I smiled. Look at that, Kurama said. The great Naruto Uzumaki, smiling at a party. Shut up. But I kept smiling. The next morning, I woke up early. I lay in my bed, a real bed now, in a small room above the library, and stared at the ceiling. I felt different. Lighter. The party, Kurama said? It helped. Maybe. Definitely. I got up. Went outside. The sun was just coming up. Pink and gold. Same as always. But today it felt different. I walked through the town. Past the bakery. Past the market. Past the school where foals were already playing. They saw me. Waved. Some called out greetings. I waved back. At the edge of town, I stopped. Looked out at the valley. What are you thinking? Kurama asked. I'm thinking about what Celestia said. About not wasting time. About letting them in. And I think she's right. I turned back toward the town. But I also think we can't forget where we came from. The people we left behind. The ones waiting for us. No. We can't. I started walking back. So we do both. We live here, now, with these ponies who keep trying to help us. And we keep looking for a way home. We don't give up on either. Kurama was quiet. That's a heavy load. Yeah. But I'd carried heavy loads before. With help. I smiled. With help. 3 weeks. 3 weeks since the party. 3 weeks of helping, of talking, of slowly becoming part of something. I sat on the library roof. My spot. Twilight was next to me. She's coming back, Twilight said. The princess. Tomorrow. She wants to talk to you. About what? I don't know. But she sounded serious. I nodded. We sat in silence for a while. I'm glad you're here, Twilight said quietly. I know you want to go home. I know this isn't where you belong. But I'm glad you're here. I looked at her. I'm glad too. Even though I want to leave. Both things are true. Twilight smiled. That's very wise. It's just honest. Sometimes honesty is wisdom. I thought about that. She's not wrong, Kurama said. I know. The 2 moons hung in the sky. Bright and close. Twilight? Yeah? If I can't go back, if we never find a way, do you think I could be happy here? Really happy? Twilight was quiet for a moment. I think, she said carefully, that happiness isn't about where you are. It's about who you're with. And what you do with the time you have. She looked at me. You have friends here. Real friends. We care about you. All of us. If you stay, if you have to stay, you won't be alone. I nodded slowly. Thanks, I said. That helps. We watched the stars. Tomorrow, Celestia would come with news. About the seals. About the woman in the castle. About whether there was any hope of going home. But tonight there was just this. A boy from another world. A pony who'd become my friend. 2 moons in a strange sky. And the quiet certainty that whatever came next, I wouldn't face it alone. Celestia arrived at noon. Not with guards or fanfare. Just her, walking into Ponyville like any ordinary pony. But ponies still bowed. Still whispered. A princess was a princess. I met her at the library. Twilight was there. The others too, they'd gathered when they heard. Celestia looked tired. Not old, she never looked old. Just heavy. Like she was carrying something. "I've found something," she said. "About the seals in the castle. About the woman who made them." Everyone leaned forward. "There are records," Celestia continued. "Old ones. From before my sister's banishment. They mention a visitor. A being not from Equestria. They called her the Starbearer." I felt a chill. "She came through a tear in reality," Celestia said. "Much like you did. She was injured. Frightened. And she carried something inside her. A darkness, the records say. A beast of shadow and flame." "That's her," Kurama said. "The woman from the vision. The records say she tried to leave. Tried to find a way back. But the barriers, the same barriers that keep our world safe, they wouldn't let her through. They recognized the darkness inside her as a threat. So they held her here." Celestia paused. "She lived for several years. Made a life. Made friends even. But the darkness inside her, it never healed. It festered. And eventually it consumed her." The room was silent. "She became something else," Celestia said quietly. "Something dark. We had to stop her. It was one of the hardest things I've ever done." My hands were shaking. "That won't be us," Kurama said firmly. "I'm not that beast. You're not that woman." "I know. We're different." "I know." But the fear was there. Small and cold. "What happened to her?" Twilight asked. Her voice was barely a whisper. "We sealed her," Celestia said. "Not killed, sealed. Her body and the darkness together, deep underground. In a place where they couldn't hurt anyone ever again." She looked at me. "The seals in the castle, the ones you found, she made them before she fell. Hoping someone would find them. Hoping someone would understand." I stood up. "Where is she? The place you sealed her?" Celestia's eyes widened. "Why?" "Because I need to see it. I need to understand what happened. So it doesn't happen to us." "Naruto." "I have to, Kurama. I have to know." The room was tense. Every pony watching me. Celestia was quiet for a long moment. "Very well," she said finally. "I'll take you there. But not alone. We go together. All of us." She looked at the others. "If you're willing." One by one they nodded. The sealing place was under the Everfree. Deeper than the castle. Deeper than anything. A cave system that wound through the earth like veins. Celestia led the way. Her horn lit the path. The others followed close behind. Twilight, Rainbow Dash, Applejack, Rarity, Fluttershy, Pinkie Pie. All of them. I walked in the middle, feeling the weight of the earth above me. "This place," Kurama said. "It feels like..." "Like what?" "Like the seal. The one Minato used on me. The same kind of magic." "So whoever sealed her knew what they were doing." "Yes. But it's old. Fading. I can feel cracks." We walked for hours. Finally, the tunnel opened into a chamber. Big. Circular. Walls covered in seals, the same symbols from the castle, but bigger, more complex. And in the center, a crystal. Huge. Pulsing with dark light. Inside it, a shape. Humanoid. Hard to see through the crystal, but there. I walked toward it. "Careful," Celestia warned. "The seals, they're old. Unstable." I kept walking. I stopped in front of the crystal. Inside, I could see her. The woman from my vision. Eyes closed. Face peaceful. Like she was sleeping. But I could feel it. The darkness. Coiled inside her like a snake. Waiting. "She's not dead," Kurama said. "Either of them are. Just frozen." "Can you feel the beast?" "Yes. It's angry. Trapped for so long. It wants out." I put my hand on the crystal. Cold. So cold it burned. And then, "Help me." A voice. Not Kurama's. Not any voice I knew. "Please. I didn't mean to. I never wanted. Please help me." I pulled my hand back. Naruto? Twilight was at my side. What happened? She's still in there. Conscious. Aware. Trapped for 1,000 years. The ponies exchanged looks. That's horrible, Fluttershy whispered. Being alone that long. In the dark. I looked at the crystal again. Kurama. You spent years sealed inside me. Hating everyone. Wanting out. Yes. What would have happened if I'd left you there? Never tried to understand you? Never trusted you? I would have stayed angry. Stayed hateful. Forever. I looked at the woman's face. So still. So trapped. We have to let her out. Every pony spoke at once. What? Are you crazy? Naruto, no. I turned to face them. She's been in there for 1,000 years. Alone. Trapped. With a beast that hates her and that she hates. That's what Kurama and I were. For years. And the only way we got out of it was by someone reaching out. By someone refusing to give up. I looked at Celestia. You said the darkness consumed her. But what if it didn't have to? What if she just needed someone to help her carry it? Celestia stared at me. That darkness nearly destroyed Equestria. Kurama nearly destroyed my village. Multiple times. And now he's my best friend. Naruto. I mean it. You're my friend. My best friend. And if someone had just given up on you, left you sealed forever, you'd still be that monster. Kurama was quiet. Celestia was quiet too. Finally. You don't know what you're asking. If the seals break, if the darkness gets out, then I'll stop it. With Kurama. With all of you. We'll stop it together. And if you can't? I looked at the crystal again. Then at least she won't die alone. Like she was afraid she would. Silence. Then a small voice. I think he's right. Fluttershy. Stepping forward. Shaking but determined. Every creature deserves a chance. Even one who's done terrible things. Especially one who's been alone for so long. Rainbow Dash shook her head. This is crazy. You're all crazy. But she didn't leave. One by one, the others looked at each other. Then Applejack stepped forward. I reckon it's crazy. But I also reckon that if there's any pony who can handle crazy, it's us. Rarity nodded, though she looked pale. Darling, I support you. But if this goes wrong, I reserve the right to say I told you so. Pinkie Pie bounced forward. If there's gonna be a monster fight, can I bring cupcakes? Twilight looked at Celestia. Princess? Celestia was still staring at me. You would risk everything. For someone you never met. She's not someone I never met. She's me. She's what I would have been if no one had reached out. Celestia closed her eyes. When she opened them, they were wet. Do it, she said quietly. Break the seal. It took hours to figure out how. The seals were complex. Ancient. Twilight studied them while I explained what I could about chakra seals. Together, we mapped out the pattern. There's a key point, Kurama said. A central seal. If you break that, the rest will follow. Can you feel it? Yes. It's familiar. Like the seal on you. But twisted. I found it. A symbol in the center of the floor. Here. This is what's holding everything together. Celestia looked at it. If we break it, everything happens at once. The crystal. The darkness. All of it. We'll be ready. They positioned themselves. Me at the center. The ponies around me. Celestia at the edge, horn glowing. On 3, I said. I put my hand on the symbol. 1. Kurama's chakra rose. Warm. Ready. 2. The ponies braced themselves. 3. I pushed. The symbol shattered. For a moment, nothing. Then the crystal cracked. Light poured out. Dark light. Angry light. It filled the chamber, pushed against us, tried to throw us back. I stood my ground. I'm not here to fight you, I shouted. I'm here to help. The darkness paused. Then it hit me like a wave. I was inside it. Inside her. Inside the beast. 1,000 years of rage and fear and loneliness crashing over me. I saw her. The woman. Young, scared, running from something. Saw the beast latch onto her, not out of hate but out of fear, its own loneliness. Saw them together, trapped, hating each other, needing each other, unable to bridge the gap. Saw her fall. Saw the darkness win. No. Kurama's voice. Strong. That's not the end. That's not the only path. But it happened. It happened to them. It doesn't have to happen to us. Show them. I reached out. Not with my hands. With everything. With all the years of being hated and alone. With all the moments Kurama had saved me. With all the trust we built. I showed them. Showed the woman that it was possible. Showed the beast that it didn't have to be alone. You can choose, I thought at them. Both of you. You can choose differently. The darkness wavered. Then, slowly, it began to change. When I opened my eyes, I was on the ground. The ponies were around me. Twilight was crying. Pinkie Pie was uncharacteristically still. You were out for an hour, Rainbow Dash said. We didn't know. I sat up. The crystal was gone. In its place, 2 figures lay on the stone floor. One was the woman. Older now, no, she'd always been that age, but she looked older. Tired. But awake. Eyes open, staring at the ceiling. The other was a beast. Smaller than Kurama. Dark fur, red eyes, coiled like a fox but wrong somehow. Hurt. Scared. Both were breathing. I crawled toward them. Hey, I said. My voice was rough. You okay? The woman turned her head. Looked at me. You're real, she whispered. I thought I imagined you. I'm real. We're all real. She started to cry. The beast moved. Crawled toward her. Pressed its head against her side. I'm sorry, it whispered. I'm so sorry. The woman put her hand on its fur. Me too. I sat back. Watched them. Behind me, I heard Fluttershy crying softly. You did it, Kurama said. There was wonder in his voice. You actually did it. We did it. Both of us. The woman looked at me again. Thank you, she said, for not giving up. I smiled. Someone didn't give up on me. Seemed fair to pass it on. Getting them out of the cave took hours. The woman, her name was Akemi, she told us later, could barely walk. The beast, Yami, was weak too. 1,000 years of stasis had taken everything from them. But they were alive. Together. And for the first time in a millennium, not fighting. The ponies helped. Carried them when they couldn't walk. Brought food and water. Fluttershy talked to Yami in a soft voice, calming it when it got scared. By the time we reached the surface, it was night. We made camp in the Everfree. Close to the edge, but not out yet. Too tired to go further. I sat by the fire. Akemi was next to me, wrapped in blankets Rarity had provided. How did you do it? She asked quietly. With your beast. How did you stop fighting? I thought about it. I don't know exactly. It wasn't one thing. It was a lot of things. People believing in me. People not giving up. And eventually. I shrugged. Eventually I realized he wasn't the monster everyone said he was. He was just scared and angry and alone. Akemi looked at Yami. The beast was asleep, head on its paws, twitching occasionally. I was so afraid of it, she whispered. For so long. That's all I felt. Fear and hate. But not anymore. No. She looked at me. Not anymore. We sat in silence. She'll be okay, Kurama said. They both will. It'll take time. But they'll be okay. Like us. Yes. Like us. I looked up at the 2 moons. For the first time since arriving in Equestria, I felt like I understood why I was here. Not to find a way home. Not to fix some ancient problem. Just to do what had been done for me. Reach out. Don't give up. Pass it on. The weeks after freeing Akemi and Yami were strange. Good strange, mostly. Akemi got stronger. Started walking. Started talking more. Yami stayed close to her, always, like it was afraid she'd disappear. The ponies helped. Fluttershy spent hours with Yami, teaching it that not everyone was an enemy. Twilight studied with Akemi, comparing notes on magic and chakra. Pinkie Pie threw a "Welcome back from being trapped for 8,000 years" party. Akemi didn't understand most of it, but she smiled. That was enough. But there were cracks. Small at first. Akemi would go quiet sometimes. Stare at nothing. When I asked what was wrong, she'd shake her head and say, "Nothing." Yami would growl in its sleep. Wake up shaking. And at night I would dream. Not my dreams. Someone else's. The first time it happened, I woke up screaming. Twilight was there in seconds. Horn glowing. Eyes wide. "What happened? What's wrong?" I was gasping. Hand on my chest. I saw. I couldn't explain it. Fire. Darkness. A woman screaming. A beast roaring. Seals breaking. "It wasn't yours," Kurama said. His voice was strained. "That dream, it came from somewhere else." From where? I don't know. But it felt like the seals. In the cave. Like something still there. I told Twilight. She went pale. "There's more? More seals?" "I don't know. Maybe. Kurama thinks so." Twilight was quiet for a moment. "I need to talk to Akemi." Akemi listened. They were in the library. Just the three of us, me, Twilight, Akemi. Yami was outside with Fluttershy. When Twilight finished explaining, Akemi's face went gray. "There were others," she said quietly. "When I came through, when I fell into this world, I wasn't alone. There were others. Beasts. Dark things. They came through the same tear." My blood ran cold. "What happened to them?" "Some died. Some were sealed. Some..." She looked away. "Some are still out there. Waiting." Twilight stood up. "Waiting for what?" "For the seals to weaken. For someone to open the door." Akemi looked at me. "For someone like you. Someone with enough power to break them free." The room was very quiet. "Naruto." Kurama's voice was sharp. "If there are others, if they're like Yami was, but worse, without anyone to reach them, then we have a problem." "Where are they?" I asked. "The seals. Where are they?" Akemi shook her head. "All over. Everywhere the darkness touched. The Everfree. The mountains. The desert. I don't know exactly. I wasn't myself at the end." Twilight was already pulling books off shelves. "We need to find them. Before something else does." "Before something else?" I looked at her. "There are things in this world that would use that darkness. Old things. Dangerous things." She paused. "Discord." I had heard that name. The spirit of chaos. Turned to stone, then freed, then reformed, sort of. "You think he'd use them?" "I think he might. Not out of malice anymore. But out of curiosity. And curiosity can be just as dangerous." "She's right," Kurama said. "If those beasts get out, if they find hosts, we have to move fast." We moved fast. Celestia was summoned. Luna too. The princesses arrived within hours, faces grave. "This is worse than I feared," Celestia said. "If there are multiple seals, multiple dark beasts, and they're all weakening, we need to find them all," Luna finished. "Before they find us." A map of Equestria was spread across the library floor. Akemi marked where she remembered. X after X after X. "Here. And here. And here. There's one in the mountains. One in the desert. One in the swamp. And..." She hesitated. "And? There's one in Canterlot. Under the castle." Celestia went still. "Under the castle? For how long?" "I don't know. I didn't put it there. Someone else did. Someone who knew what they were doing." The implications hung in the air. If there was a dark beast under Canterlot, sealed for who knew how long, and the seals were weakening. "We need to check it," I said. Now. Celestia nodded. Agreed. Luna, stay here. Coordinate the search for the others. I'll take Naruto and Twilight to Canterlot. The tunnels under Canterlot were old. Older than the castle. Older than the city. Carved by something that wasn't ponies. I walked with Celestia and Twilight. My senses stretched out, feeling for chakra. For anything that felt like Kurama. Like Yami. Like the darkness. There, Kurama said. Ahead. I feel it. We found it in a chamber. Smaller than the one under the Everfree. A single crystal, dark, pulsing. Inside, a shape. Smaller than Yami. Writhing even in stasis. It's in pain, Kurama said. Constant pain. For centuries. I approached the crystal. This one was different. The seals were different. More aggressive. Meant to hurt, not just contain. Someone wanted it to suffer, I said quietly. Celestia's face was hard. Who would do such a thing? I don't know. But we have to let it out. Like the others. Naruto. I know the risks. But leaving it like this, that's worse. That's what creates monsters. I put my hand on the crystal. The darkness hit me. But this time, it wasn't anger. It wasn't hate. It was pain. Pure, endless, agonizing pain. Centuries of it. No relief. No hope. Just pain. Help me, it whispered. Please. It hurts so much. Please help me. I reached out. Not with logic. Not with arguments. Just with comfort. I'm here. I won't leave you. I'm here. The pain didn't stop. But something shifted. The darkness recognized that it wasn't alone. I opened my eyes. We break the seal. Now. Twilight looked at Celestia. Celestia nodded. Together. We broke it. The crystal shattered. The beast fell out, small, trembling, covered in wounds that weren't physical. It looked up at me. Why? Because no one should suffer alone. The beast stared at me for a long moment. Then it buried its face in my chest and cried. We named the beast Kage. Small for its kind. Black fur, silver eyes. It didn't speak much, just huddled close to whoever was near. Fluttershy mostly. Sometimes me. Akemi cried when she saw it. I didn't know, she whispered. I didn't know there were others. I didn't know they were suffering. It's not your fault. It is. If I hadn't come through, if I hadn't brought the darkness. You didn't bring it. You carried it. There's a difference. Akemi looked at me. How do you do that? Carry so much and still be okay? I thought about it. I'm not always okay. But I have people who help. Kurama. My friends back home. The ponies here. I shrugged. You don't have to be okay alone. That's the secret. Akemi was quiet. Then, slowly, she nodded. 3 seals down. 2 more to go. The search parties came back with reports. 1 in the mountains, active, moving, hard to track. 1 in the desert, stable but weakening. And something else. Discord had been seen near both locations. Twilight paced the library. The others watched. This isn't coincidence, she said. He's looking for them. For the beasts. But why? Rainbow Dash asked. He's reformed. He's good now. Discord's version of good isn't the same as ours. He might just be curious. But curiosity can be just as dangerous as malice. I finished. You said that. Twilight nodded. We need to find him. Talk to him. Before he finds the beasts first. We found Discord in the mountains. Sitting on a rock, eating chocolate rain. Literally, chocolate was falling from the sky in a small area around him. Ah, visitors! He grinned. How delightful! Come to enjoy the weather? I stepped forward. You've been looking for the beasts. The sealed ones? Discord's grin didn't waver, but his eyes sharpened. Perceptive. Yes, I've been looking. They're fascinating, aren't they? Creatures of pure darkness, trapped for centuries, slowly dying. Or not dying. It's hard to tell. They're not dying. They're suffering. Same thing, really? No. It's not. Discord tilted his head. You've freed 3 of them already. I've been watching. Very touching. Very sentimental. He floated closer. But sentiment won't help the ones that are too far gone. The ones that have been suffering so long they don't remember anything else. My jaw tightened. Which ones? The mountain beast. The desert beast. They're different from the others. Older. More damaged. If you tried to free them the way you freed the first 3, you might not survive. Let me worry about that. Discord laughed. Brave. Foolish, but brave. He floated in a circle. Tell you what. I'll help you find them. In exchange. No exchange. You let me watch. I blinked. Watch? Observe. Study. I'm curious, you see. Genuinely curious. A being from another world, carrying another being inside him, going around freeing dark creatures with the power of friendship. He laughed again. It's the most interesting thing that's happened in centuries. I don't want to miss the ending. I looked at Twilight. She shrugged. He's weird. But he usually keeps his word. I looked back at Discord. Fine. You can watch. But if you interfere. You'll what? Punch me? I'm made of chaos, dear boy. Punching doesn't work. I'll find something that does. Discord's smile flickered. I believe you would. He bowed. Partners, then. How delightful. The mountain beast was exactly where Discord said it would be. A cave high in the peaks. Ice everywhere. Wind that cut like knives. I went in alone. The others waited outside, Twilight, Discord, Fluttershy, who'd insisted on coming, and Rainbow Dash, who'd insisted on protecting Fluttershy. The cave was dark. Cold. My breath fogged in front of my face. I feel it, Kurama said. Ahead. It's different. Different how? Angrier. More damaged. The centuries have twisted it. I found it in a chamber of ice. A beast, frozen in the center. Larger than the others. Dark fur, red eyes, teeth bared even in stasis. It wasn't sleeping. It was aware. Trapped but aware. Watching me. Another one, it growled. Another fool who thinks he can help. I'm not here to hurt you. You're here to free me. Same thing. Freedom means pain. Freedom means remembering. I don't want to remember. I stopped. What do you want? I wanted to stop. The pain. The memories. The endless. Its voice broke. I walked closer. Put my hand on the ice. I can't make the memories go away. But I can sit with you while you remember. You don't have to do it alone. The beast stared at me. Why? Because someone sat with me. When I was alone and angry and hurting. And it changed everything. Silence. Then, slowly, the ice began to crack. Freeing the mountain beast took 3 days. Not because the seal was hard to break, it wasn't. But because the beast itself fought. It didn't want to be free. Didn't want to feel again. I sat with it. Talked to it. Let it rage and cry and break things. The ponies brought food. Brought blankets. Fluttershy sat with it too, singing softly, not asking for anything. By the 3rd day, the beast had a name. Yuki. By the 4th, it could look at us without flinching. By the 5th, it smiled. Small. Uncertain. But real. Discord watched the whole time. Taking notes, he said. Studying. But his eyes were different by the end. Softer. Remarkable, he said quietly. Truly remarkable. One left. The desert beast. We found it in a ruin buried under sand. Old. Older than anything in Equestria. Seals carved into stone that predated ponies. This one was different. It wasn't in a crystal. Wasn't frozen. Just there. In the center of the ruin, curled up, eyes open. Waiting. I approached slowly. You're the last, I said. Yes. The others are free now. They're healing. I know. I felt them. Why didn't you try to get out? The beast lifted its head. Because I'm not like them. I'm not damaged. I'm not angry. I'm just tired. I sat down in front of it. Tired of what? Everything. The fighting. The running. The being used. I've been alive too long. Seen too much. I just wanted to stop. I understood. I'd felt that way. After the war. After everything. Just tired. I know someone who felt that way, I said. A woman named Akemi. She was sealed for 1,000 years. Trapped with a beast she hated. She wanted to die too. The beast looked at me. What happened? Someone reached out. Refused to give up. Now she's free. She's healing. She's learning to live again. That's not me. It could be. Silence. Then the beast stood up. Walked toward me. You're not afraid of me? No. Why? Because I know what it's like to be afraid of yourself. And I know that fear doesn't last forever. The beast stopped in front of me. Looked into my eyes. My name is Karai, it said. I've been alone for 2,000 years. I smiled. Nice to meet you, Karai. I'm Naruto. And you're not alone anymore. They came back to Ponyville together. All of them. Akemi and Yami. Kage and Fluttershy. Yuki and the ponies who'd helped him. Karai, walking beside me. It was the strangest procession the town had ever seen. A human, 6 ponies, 4 dark beasts, and Discord floating overhead eating popcorn. Ponies stared. Foals pointed. Some ran inside. But some didn't. Some came out to meet them. Welcome home, Applejack said. Simple. Honest. And somehow, that was enough. The next weeks were chaos. Not bad chaos, just adjustment. 5 former dark beasts learning to live in a world that had feared them for centuries. Ponies learning not to be afraid. Accidents and misunderstandings and slow, careful trust building. I helped where I could. Talked to the beasts when they got scared. Talked to the ponies when they got scared. Translated between worlds that didn't understand each other. It was exhausting. It was also the most meaningful thing I'd ever done. You're good at this, Kurama said one night. We were on the library roof. My spot. At what? Connecting. Building bridges. Making people feel less alone. I had a good teacher. Who? You. Kurama was quiet. I didn't teach you that. I spent years trying to kill you. Yeah. But you also spent years in there with me. Listening. Watching. Even when you hated me, you were there. That counts for something. I suppose it does. We sat in silence for a while. Naruto? Yeah? I'm glad you're my partner. I smiled. Me too, Kurama. Me too. The dimensional tear appeared 3 months later. Just outside Ponyville. Hanging in the air like a scar. Flickering with light from another world. Everyone gathered. Celestia studied it. Luna too. Twilight took notes. The beasts watched from a distance, nervous. It's stable, Celestia said finally. Not permanent, but stable. For now. I looked at it. Through it. On the other side, I could see trees. Normal trees. A sky that was blue, not purple. A world I knew. Home. You can go through, Luna said quietly. The barriers won't stop you this time. You've changed. Kurama's changed. The magic recognizes you now. I nodded. I looked back at the ponies. At all of them. Twilight. Pinky. Rainbow. Applejack. Rarity. Fluttershy. The princesses. The beast I'd freed. Discord, for some reason, looking almost sad. You'll come back? Twilight asked. Her voice was small. I don't know. I looked at the tear. Time moves differently between worlds. If I go through, it might be years here before I can return. Or it might be days. I can't control it. Then stay. I looked at her. If I stay, my friends back home will think I'm dead. They'll mourn. They'll move on. I can't do that to them. Twilight nodded. She was crying. Trying not to show it. I understand. I walked toward her. Knelt down. Looked her in the eyes. Thank you, I said. For everything. For not giving up on me. For helping me help them. I nodded toward the beasts. For being my friend. Twilight couldn't speak. She just nodded. One by one, the others came forward. Applejack. Take care of yourself, Sugarcube. Rainbow Dash. If you ever come back, we're racing. And I'm still gonna win. Rarity. Do try to visit. I have so many designs I want to show you. Pinkie Pie. I'll save you a cake. For when you come back. Even if it's 100 years from now. Cake keeps forever. Fluttershy. Thank you for being brave. For all of us. The beasts came too. Yami. Kaga. Yuki. Kurai. Each touching me gently. Each whispering thanks. Then Celestia. You've done more than free them, she said quietly. You've shown us what's possible. When we don't give up on each other. Luna nodded. You'll always have friends here. I stood up. Looked at the tear. Ready? Kurama asked. Ready. I walked toward it. At the edge I stopped. Turned back. One last look at the world that had become my second home. At the friends who'd saved me as much as I'd saved them. Hey, I said. If I can, if time lets me, I'll come back. I promise. Then I stepped through. The world on the other side was exactly as I remembered. Same sky. Same sun. Same trees. Same air. I was standing in the valley where I'd disappeared. The cracks in the earth were still there. The burned trees. But there was something else. People. Sakura. Sasuke. Kakashi. Shikamaru. Hinata. They were standing there. Staring at me. Looking like they'd seen a ghost. I stared back. Hey, I said. My voice cracked. I'm back. Sakura screamed. Then they were all running toward me. Hugging me. Crying. Yelling. 3 years! Sakura sobbed. You've been gone 3 years! 3 years. For me, it had been months. For them, years. I held them. All of them. Let them cry. Time moves differently, Kurama said softly. You warned them. I know. But it still hurts. Hinata was last. She stood in front of me, tears streaming down her face, and just looked at me. I knew, she whispered. I knew you'd come back. I pulled her close. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Don't be. Just don't leave again. I held her. Felt her shake. Home, Kurama said. Yeah. Home. The days after were strange. Adjusting. Explaining. Telling the story over and over until it felt real. Sasuke listened without comment. At the end, he just nodded. You changed them, he said. The beasts. You changed them the way you changed us. I didn't change anyone. They changed themselves. Same thing. I thought about it. Maybe Sasuke was right. 6 months later. I sat on the Hokage monument. My spot. Looking out at the village. A lot had changed. I was officially a hero now. Not just the hero who'd won the war, the hero who'd come back from another world. Stories spread. Some true. Some not. I didn't care. What mattered was that I was home. That my friends were here. That Kurama was strong again, the equestrian magic having healed something in him. You're thinking about them, Kurama said. Yeah. You miss them. Yeah. Maybe you'll see them again. I looked at the sky. Maybe. I thought about Twilight. About Pinkie's parties. About Fluttershy's quiet courage. About the beast I'd freed, learning to live again. I hope they were okay. They are, Kurama said. They have each other. That's enough. Is it? For now. For anyone, for now, having each other is enough. I nodded. Down below, I could hear voices. Sakura calling me for dinner. Hinata's soft laugh. Sasuke's quiet presence. I stood up. Ready? Ready. I started down the mountain. Home was here. Home was there. Home was wherever the people who loved you were waiting. And I had people in both worlds now. That was enough. That night I dreamed. Not a nightmare. Not a vision. Just a dream. I was in Ponyville, sitting on the library roof. Twilight was next to me. "It's good to see you," she said. "You too." "How long has it been?" 6 months. For me. 3 years. For us. I nodded. "Are they okay?" I asked. "The beasts? Every pony?" "They're fine. Healing. Growing. Yami talks about you sometimes. Kurai too." I smiled. "Good." We sat in silence for a while. "I'm glad you came back," Twilight said. "Even if it's just a dream." "I'm glad too." She looked at me. "This is real, isn't it? Not just a dream?" "I think so. I think maybe, when you have connections this strong, they can reach across anything. Even worlds." Twilight nodded slowly. "Then I'll be here. Waiting. Whenever you can visit." "I'll come back. I promise." "I know you will." The dream started to fade. "Tell them all I miss them," I said. "I will. And tell them thank you. For everything." "I will." The dream faded to nothing. I woke up in my bed, sunlight streaming through the window, Hinata's hand in mine. I smiled. Somewhere, in another world, a purple pony was waking up too. And that was enough.